Happy birthday, MW. Tim Bales, boy, I tell you, that's a question we've had a million times in the last few days. You've missed those podcasts. I don't know what to tell you. I get back and forth. I get mixed thoughts on it for many. I think there's a good chance. Would I count on it? Heck no. I think that would be foolish. Um, the U.S. military commanders pushed a lot of service members to buy some, specifically in those years before they had reprinted, to help support the nation in which they had shed blood for. All I can tell you is I'm getting mixed stories as to whether they will or they won't. And I know that doesn't help a lot, but it's what we're getting. I would definitely take it with me at exchange time. I would not go and buy any though. RW, it's good to see you. Ruth, Grumpy. Who else do we have? Grandma, Evie, Goose Girl, Helen. Hello, Blake. Time for happy dance. Wait, who's this one? Good morning. Today's my birthday. Crossing over the big threshold of 70. Happy birthday. Oh, wait. I think it was Coke Come's birthday as well. I clicked the button. I may have clicked it too quickly. Ah, yeah, I did see that one. Kokomo. Happy birthday. It's ripping. Hello, Polly Van Winkle. Hello, Sluggo, Jay and Amy. Hello, Jan. Let's see. Today's Jan's birthday, too. Michael, happy anniversary. Hello, Eeyore. It's a blue kind of week. Hello, James Bone. Hello, CW in Indiana. Ooh, I know what I need to be paying attention to. If you're like me and you're getting to that age where your body just feels sluggish and off all the time, then listen up. Because I recently wasn't feeling great, decided to call my friend Dr. Josh for some help, told him what was going on. His response kind of shocked me. He said that I was showing all the telltale signs of a clogged liver. You probably already heard about how important your liver is for detoxification, digestion, and energy levels. Here's the thing, most people have no idea how clogged and overburdened their liver actually is. Eating processed food, drinks, even stress, these things can all take a toll, leaving your liver clogged. And it's important not to let this go unchecked because your liver is the most important organ in your body, being responsible for the proper function nearly every system in your body, from digestion to metabolism to detoxification. Essentially, a healthy liver equals healthy you. So, Dr. Josh, 25 years of medical experience, formulated Ultra Liver, his special, formulation. Acts like a deep cleanse for your entire body. He has sold a bunch. It's been very successful in a good way because people are seeing real results. So say goodbye to chronic fatigue, bloating, and skin issues. Say hello to renewed energy, clear thinking, and body that's operating at 100% again. Again, he has put in his 25 years of experience to make this, formulate this, and release it to you. You can find out more or order it by going to tryultraliver.com/MarkZ to get your hands on some today. He has been running a special of up to 50% off. Again, tryultraliver.com/MarkZ. You can find it in the link if you want to keep it easy in the description on YouTube and Rumble. Yeah, Bernard, it's clogging mine too. And days like today, nothing wrong. The news is good, just not much of it. Can't stand these quiet days. I'm wanting something big, fast, quick. Let's get her done. Reading a few of y'all's fun comments. Mr. Frausto, it's good to see you in the house. I heard that you're making the big announcement that Trizzo is better than Jimmy Dean's sausage. I'm glad Chicky Mama agrees with you. Depends on the Trizio. Some's great, some's not, right? We'll get into what the word is today. We do have Yeah, liver juice the morning after whiskey and wisdom day. It is kind of. I probably should have. That should have been the ad for whiskey and wisdom, and then again for the morning after. Right? Wait a minute. I think it was. It was. Boy, that was. You're right. That was good timing. That was good timing. Matt, tell me, how are you confused? Maybe we can take the slower news day and answer some questions. There is some news to cover. Don't worry on that front. Bond side, still quiet. I have a meeting that is supposed to be it actually starts. Well, I don't have a meeting. One of my contacts has a meeting that starts in 24 minutes during the podcast. Hopefully, we will get some solid news out of that one, or at least an idea of what they're being told and what to expect timing wise. Otherwise, really quiet. Got another one that has a meeting either today or tomorrow. They just told me the end of the week. I see Barbara. Wait, happy birthday, Barbara's mom. Oh, happy birthday to Barbara's mom. Jay Branch, I can confirm that Sudani is planning a trip to DC. Jack, depends on who and where. Do I have some that receive salaries? Yes. But if you're talking about government officials and stuff, we got news stories on that one. Plenty to keep you busy on that front going back and forth right now. Hello, Wu Dan Fu. I know, 10:07. We still got a minute or two. I'm wanting to dive right in so we can get to some of the questions. Lisa, Texas Veritas. I'm with you. I'd be thrilled with .01 on the Boulevard. Still be huge. Presley, 11. Hello, White Wolf. TBJ, I continue to hear that the low side is 11 million US per 100 T note, and the high side is 50 million per 100 T Zim note. Most of what I've heard over the years has always hovered around 30, 33 million for the 100 T note. That's the rumor rolling around on the Zim bonds. On the aggro checks, I continue to hear 330 grand per 1 billion. Benny, they become squatters all over the place, from Zurich to Reno to Colombia. I can think of a couple other places they are ensconced, waiting for this. Wait, Candace, oh, Candace crazy. She's, I don't know if guys, and I would love to hear your thoughts on Candace Owen. Is she completely losing it, or is she finding more and more layers of the crazy that is our world politics and our world leaders? In other words, is it crazy Candace, or is Candace simply starting to expose and see how crazy it is? Or is it somewhere in between? I want to know what you all think on that front. Kathy thinks she's crazy. Tony, what do you know about the golden 100 T notes? I've been told they are collectors only and won't be exchanged. Most of my sources say, I got one or two say that they will. I don't know. I got a couple. I'm taking them with me. Jason, I'm with you. I just want mental peace. Maybe she's part of the movie. I think she's probably sixth generation warfare, playing the game like everyone else. Yeah, I'm Super Beans. I don't know. She is a very bright lady, whether we agree with her views or not. She is putting herself in a lot of crosshairs, and I don't think she would do it if she didn't firmly believe what she was saying. Let's see. Kathy, a Republican candidate for governor, just lost a son, daughter, in law, and two grandchildren in a helicopter crash in Montana. Does sound like the Kennedys. Yeah, it's retired, taking the kitchen sink and maybe worse something. Vapor Trail says, I can't decide if Candace is losing it or playing a role to wake up sleepers. Roy thinks Charlie's buried in the witness protection program. Triple Daughter thinks Candace is conservative incorporated, bought and paid for. Joyce questioning whether Charlie was actually killed or not. Jazzy says, I agree with part of the movie. Reading some of these, right, Susan? It's easy to see it's right in front. That's what I keep telling people, but he does a much better job explaining that it's right in front of our faces and we're in the middle of a transition. Frias, University of Kentucky is the shirt. See, Mark, when we give them information types currency we have to exchange, should we tell them the ones we don't know are exchangeable, like the ones you think might be? It'd probably be worth it, Kim. I mean, can't hurt. I'd still take them with you. At least that's my plan for myself personally. Jay's figuring out he isn't a college kid anymore. Wally believes, I think Candace is fine. She's uncovering uncomfortable things is all. I do think she's uncovering some uncomfortable things. I'm not convinced she's wrong about Macron's wife or husband or whatever. I find that one a little questionable too. Do I know? No, I do not know for certain. But man, I know she's got a pretty good right swing. She rocked his clock. John, not yet. You got to correct the value and then you move to parity. I'll see if we can get Mr. Cottrell to do a deeper dive on that one tomorrow. It's been a while since he has talked about that and that process as he understands it. What's a goal? It's a 100T note that is printed on really cool looking gold paper, mostly considered collector's items, kind of like a $3 bill. I am still thinking that is about where the dong will be, Miss Jackie. I'm with you. Have to kill me first. Simple DNA test. Why won't she take one? She has jumped through hoops, spent millions and millions of dollars and attorneys and everything else to not take one. I'm with you on that one. Mitchell, don't believe your lion eyes. Macron's wife is a woman. Let's see. How is blockchain and Department of Justice connected? Oh, that'd be pretty easy. At some point, you won't be able to make cases simply disappear. You won't be able to cut all the extra backroom deals because it'll be transparent through the whole process, the documentation, the cases, you name it. They won't be able to play games with them. Gracie's thoughts. Candace is written in the movie. Charlie's very much alive. Bridget, total man. If you want truth, you must put in the work and research, is Gracie's comment. But after the EBS goes, do you think NFL games will be disrupted? Depends on which day. It's going to be my guess. Nothing fresh or fun, Anthony, on the Vietnamese dong. I know we need to be getting to the news, but we are covering news right now for those that aren't paying attention with the questions. Yeah, D-Day, sex of Macron's wife has no bearing on my life. No, not really. Yeah, I'm very happy at 2.25. Let's talk about some of what we're seeing in Iraq. Let's start here. The Iraq is the fourth Arab in possession of gold. As they are growing their gold reserves, they are really beating this into our heads right now in Iraq and the Iraqi news. Iraq coming in 162.7 tons. They are on a buying spree, though. They are still adding more gold monthly, pretty much, to their totals. As they are moving that direction, they want you to know how important it is for the support that it gives their currency. I think they're what, at 20 some percent of all of their currencies now backed by gold, one of the highest in the world when you look at the currency and values. No obstacles in the way of withdrawing oil revenues from U.S. banks. Tell you, Allah has been on a tour. We got him in a couple places here. They use the same picture though. But him talking about the changes, what's happened, how the dollars work, letting us know that all of the election year rhetoric, much of it is BS. He's trying to keep everybody grounded in this because they're trying to use this or that, whip up emotions in this election cycle as they are approaching election day in Iraq. Talks about budget, where it was short, removing zeros from the currency and saying, hey, this is well underway. He wants us to know that the project still exists and it is ongoing and they are working on it. One thing I have found in Iraq, if they say they're working on it, they're probably just about done. Ali Alak to Rudal, the tripartite budget included very large spending and a high level of deficit. And he's even in this one, he's even going to get into deleting zeros. But talking about it, subject to debt, the 3-year budget, and he's all right, where I take this article when I'm reading, because there are a couple more articles where they have different quotes from them on the tripartite budget. To me, it sounds like he's saying we were supposed to have a new value, so we made this budget. We even put mechanisms in it so we could change the value midway through the budget, and we didn't get the revaluation done, so we had bigger deficits than expected. But I want you to know that we've learned from that, and we're prepared, and we're moving forward on this deletion of zeros. Why they tie that tripartite budget, having the mechanism for changing value, and then needing to delete the zeros all in the same sitting, to me tells us something, tells us a lot as I'm reading his comments of late. He's trying to tell us that 99% of this, if they would have let them go, wouldn't be an issue, but they're working on it and they're going to have it soon. That's how I'm reading it. And could be that I am pretty biased because I'm ready to have it done. Whoa, you guys are just ripping. I'm thinking Macroni, or she's really the nanny for. Okay, this is. All right, let's see what Jay had. Good morning, Mark. What if Iraq and the GCR doesn't go as quickly as we want, but we own a handful of historic bonds? We'll be able to cash those in any potential rates. I don't know what to say on the rates for the historic bonds because I've heard so many things all over the place. I've always been told it goes at the same time or within a very shortened time period. So I don't think you get one without the other. Oh, wait a minute. The CXI and CFIX sold out of IQD. A lot of places. They have really cracked down on any of it coming out. Let's see. Or being sold. Supply is getting difficult. Sarah's 27th birthday. Going to try to keep up with some of you guys' questions. Wait, Bill, how about my 1 million? Not certain I understand that one, Mr. Kuhn. How about my $1 million note? Like, they never made a denomination that high. We're talking about like 25K notes and just you got a total million of them. Got to make certain I understand what you're saying so I don't give you really bad information. Dr. Scott is planning on joining this evening. Ted, do you think the U.S. will have a one-time revaluation rate? I don't know. Well, Mr. C has said, I've heard many others say this well, and it's been explained to me this way as well, that we have to revalue before we can reset. We've got to correct the values before we can move to parity. And Mr. C does a way better job on that front than I do. Way better job describing it. So theoretically, I would see it as probably two revaluations: the revaluation where we fix it, and then the mechanism where we go to parity. Whiskey and Wisdom was fun last night. Helen's birthday today. Happy birthday, Miss Helen. Yes, they will take the lower denomination notes, I was told very specifically, which is fun because those are the ones I was planning on tipping with once the exchange happens. Because I've still got a few smaller ones that I've squirreled away over the years. The bezel is at 1925 all over again. Bit of a deep dive by Christopher Whalen over at the Daily Reckoning on how similar the economy is right now as we were leading towards the crash of 1929. From spending to government liquidity to you name it. I thought this one was an excellent history lesson so you guys can see the similarities. That's what I keep trying to impress the folks. This is not unusual. What we're seeing is not unusual. It is a cycle that happens economically around the world roughly every 100 years or so. And right on time, it is doing it again. The only difference is we are educated, we are in front of it, and we know what is coming or closely what is coming so we can take advantage of it. Huge amounts of money were made in previous crashes around the world. Whenever the world economy has crashed, people that have positioned themselves do exceptionally well. Remember, your neighbor is probably not positioned very well, though. And now a tough one. Obamacare premiums are going up. New figures show premiums for Affordable Care Act plans are rising in 2026. According to figures from 12 states, premiums are set to increase by thousands of dollars for the average family, according to the data, which was published by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. That includes a $20,700 annual jump for a 60-year-old couple in Oregon and a $32,600 annual spike for a family of four in Vermont with a $130,000 income. It's going to get ugly on the insurance front because they've been bearing it and subsidizing it. I believe the figure is like $350 billion they've been subsidizing as the Affordable Care Act allowed insurance companies to charge more money. The people didn't care because it wasn't coming out of their pocket. The insurance companies made a fortune. They were just being subsidized with free money from the federal government. You get the notion here. We have artificially inflated healthcare through the roof. And now it's time to start paying the bill. This is absolutely painful right now, guys. Watching what could happen to pretty much all of us. Now, those that are under affordable care, I think the worst you're going up, I think it was like $82 a month. Yeah, here it is. Americans across income brackets would see increases, although those with little income would see the maximum increase of about $82 a month. The majority of the more than 24 million people enrolled in a plan currently receive the credits. In other words, government subsidies, just under a different name. It is interesting how they just like to change the name to change what they are. Yep, exactly, Alley Cat. Trump will be blamed for this one, just like he's blamed for cutting off. We've been overspending for how many decades? Far more than we bring in. And that debt has piled up. The interest on that debt has piled up. We've arguably hit the point of no return, but he gets blamed for it. It's like the hot potato. The last one holding it always gets blamed with it. And I said previously, it's not an election I'd want to win, but I'm glad he won it. Frank, reference housing prices dropping to 70s, and now I've heard 50s price. How likely this to come? Frank, for most of what I understand, most expect it to take some months or even a year or so for it to correct to that level after it goes. I think we're going to correct to 70s levels, early 70s levels. I don't think we're going to 50s levels, but I could be wrong. Grandma Sally, isn't that interesting? YouTube will not let me like Mark for the last 2 weeks. Let's see. Will we make more money with the zeros or less money without it? Valerie, um, it happens at the same time the zeros change. So that's really kind of a moot question, if I understand what you're asking or your comment. In other words, the zeros go away because the value changes. So the value changes, you do your exchanges. And then if you want to buy some notes, you can buy some low denomination notes. Leah, they inflated health insurance after we were allowed to write off 100% of the premium. Exactly. And because it didn't affect people's individual pockets, they didn't scream or complain because it didn't come out of their or their perceived pocket. They totally got you for it. They totally charged you for it. They just charge you here and there with extra taxes. So you didn't notice it. You were just like, oh my God, taxes are getting high. And then you're like, wait a minute, why are taxes high? Well, they're high because of foreign wars and government subsidies that don't need to be paid. And unfortunately, because of that, now they can't afford to pay them for the people that truly need them. John, I don't think we're going to have much of an opportunity to buy precious metals after the RV. I think it's going to be a very short period. I'm going to be prepared immediately because I believe you will see a crazed run that will last a while. So I'm thinking I buy some. Yes, it's going to be too expensive. It'll shoot up. Once it shoots up, then I start selling it off and sitting on it until it bottoms out again, or should I say stabilizes, and then I'm going to buy a bunch. That's my thought, how I'm going to handle it for me. That's not financial advice, guys. Consider it entertainment as I tell you my thoughts. Kelly, all the changes are good, but what's going to happen once Trump's gone? That's why it's going to be important. What do we change? What do we do, especially if we have our blessing? What candidates do we push forward? Do some of you guys run for offices? We got a lot of work to do. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people aren't looking past just getting some cash. Then they're going to be like, it's somebody else's problem. But we really will have a lot of work to do. Dana, a question. Nader last night talked about 3-0. Said if they delete them first, we will lose money. If they delete them after the RV, we'll make money. Thoughts? Iraq has said over and over and over that they raise the purchasing power and then they delete the 3-0. So for me, if they go against everything they have ever possibly said, sure, we wouldn't make any dollars. But they would have to go against everything they've ever said. They would have to piss off every nation and central bank in the world and crap upon their people. So do I think it's going to happen that way? I just don't think we get a new value and then we get new notes. It is ripping today. I appreciate that one, Morrow on the Zester and I on the John Dowling. We were solid. Zester was spectacular. Zester's discussion of ISO, yeah, it was good. I'm telling you, man, that's a must watch for folks in my book. It is happening in front of your eyes. Your system is here. We are watching it. Moonshine, is it an aggro or not? Actually, I don't think they ever made an aggro that big. So you would just have to do the math. Whatever it is per Zim, you'd have to figure out if 100 T Zim is worth, let's say, I don't know, 11 million or 33 million, pick your number. Divide it by that amount by the number of Zim in it, then multiply it by the 50 billion. Because you'd be like dividing by 100 T, multiplying by 50. Just do the math. Break the calculator out. Mark could never run for office. First presser, like a press meeting, would be asked something moronic, and I would respond with, yeah, how effing stupid that is. Sinking your own campaign. I don't know. I would appreciate it when somebody got up there and just laughed at him and said, you're an idiot. To the press or to that question. Jay Hart, happy birthday. Q, I'm with you. After you collect funds, take a breath before you employ your cash. Realize the gift you've received. Take a breath and try not to go on a spending spree. I definitely understand some people are going to need to spend money no matter what. They're in a desperate space or they need a house, they need a car. I get it. I would just be conservative. Wait, Kelly. Oh, I'm just keeping your nerves sharp. Martin, I am very proud of him. All right, where are we at? Let's get back to a few of these. I do have Wade and Gina joining us this morning from My Free Water Store. All right, so we talked about the Obamacare premiums, and guys, when you look at the numbers, it's spooky. If not, we have to include subsidies. Question is, what does the government short, and how do we fix the underlying problem? If all we do is pass more subsidies, nobody's fixing the broken medical system. And maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he knows the technology's there and the medical system is going to be, well, a moot point within a very short time period. Is that maybe why it's not been addressed? I have to at least think that one through. Trump calls on ranchers to lower beef prices. Officials reveal the plan to rebuild the herd. The herd hadn't been this small since 1951. That's kind of scary, guys. Let's do just a short bit of research and go population of the U.S. in 1951. Let's see what it tells us. Approximately 158.1 million was our population. All right, now let's do another one. Let's see what the population is today. Population of the U.S. today. Let's see what we find out. 341.96. So not quite double what it was, but we have a lower. So to keep the math really, really easy, we have half the beef herd that we had in 1951 when you correct for numbers and population growth. So we have half the food to take care of the same number of people. You see part of the problem here. Now, they talk about some droughts. They talk about some other things. They don't talk about how they cut the water off in many of these places or great restrictions on ranching or any of that, or how the government screwed it up, or how the globalists, because of what they were afraid was going to take over the world with cow farts, what they did to the cattle supply. I think we're going to need Wade and Gina to go back into raising cows. Yep. I think we need a lot more people raising a beef cow. But they're going to do all kinds of stuff. They're putting on tariffs. The short is beef's going to continue to be more expensive for a while. Big recall coming on eggs, 6.7 million eggs or something like that. So while other things are coming down, some are going to be hit artificially and go high, along with your insurance. Nana, Jess, it's even worse. The fact that they've known it was going to expire, they have known it was going to expire for years. The Democrats wrote most of those things in the original Affordable Care Act during Obama's presidency. So it was passed when Obama was president. They have known that those subsidies, many of them expire in 2025. They've known it was going to happen for how many years? Now, how many times in that time period have the Democrats controlled the presidency, the House, and the Senate? Many times. Nancy Pelosi oversaw a 2-year period where they controlled it all under Joe Biden. Could they have changed or done anything during that time? If it was important to them, would they have done anything? So I guess it wasn't important to them. And I say the same thing about the Republicans. How many times the Republicans control the White House, Congress being the House and the Senate? How many times have they controlled it in the same time period that they could have done something about it? How many times have the Democrats could have codified Roe versus Wade if they'd wanted to when they controlled it? How many times could they have fixed immigration? How many times could the Republicans have built a wall? The reality is they're not fixing it because they need there to be a problem, so you keep voting for them. I get in all kinds of trouble for that one, but it's real. It's the truth. I can lie to you and tell you it's all the damn Democrats' faults. But there is plenty of blame to roll around the entire crew. White Wolf, maybe it's time we started raising our own beef, hogs, chickens, including raising our own vegetables. Absolutely, White Wolf. It is the ultimate in civil disobedience to raise your own food. It was a long Dowling show, but it was a great one. For those that haven't seen it, should be on your list. No, roll. I'll just buy the replicator for good beef. I want the real thing. Wendy, that's what I was getting at. Maybe the Republican or the Trump not as worried as I would think. I mean, he's pushing on pharmaceutical costs, he's pushing on stuff like that. But maybe they're not as fired up about changing it because they know it's not going to be necessary. I would like to think that is the reason. Now, Kelly with the winner for me, and this is starting to make a number of stories. Kelly said, my opinion, Congress shouldn't get paid if we don't get paid, if we don't work. And Real Clear Wire running a piece and just continues to be a bigger and bigger thing. Congress should miss their paychecks too. This week marks the third week of the government shutdown. There continues to be no end in sight. This week means the federal workers officially missed their first paycheck. These workers are staring down the barrel of piling bills. Many are unable to put gas in the car or food on the table for their families. It's about all I can say about that one. But Congress, I don't think Congress should get a paycheck if they can't balance the budget, if they can't pass a budget. I mean, that is one of the biggest jobs that Congress has in the Constitution and the separation of powers. They're supposed to be the purse strings. What have they failed at miserably? Being the purse strings. What else do? They pass legislation and laws. What do they seem absolutely incapable of doing? They want to pile everything on top of a court to figure out so they don't have to deal with it. No, Congress is useless. I mean, like tits on a boar. Absolutely useless. Stan, what happens if the RV doesn't go by the elections? It just means it didn't go by the elections. It's still an inevitability. I think it goes by the elections, but if it doesn't, I'm not going to panic because the fundamentals are still the fundamentals. They're still going to change. The question is the when. Edward, not only should they not be paid, but they should not be fined. All right, we can work out a compromise. If government shuts down, they shouldn't get any paycheck. If they run a 20% deficit, they should have a 20% payroll deduction. They should get 20% of their pay if they can't balance the budget. If the budget's only off 2% and they run a 2% deficit, they should lose 2% of their pay. Can we make that one a compromise for them? Would that be more palatable to them? Remember the 5th of November. There's plenty of those dates coming along. They need to get it pulled together before history repeats itself and more people start breaking out things like their Vias Vendetta masks or their yellow vests from France. Mm. We were seeing, let's see, I don't know what the Dow is doing today. It's up 18 points. Metals were seeing a bit of, they were losing. Well, when I say, how do I do this one? The folks trying to suppress the price were losing the battle this morning before the U.S. markets opened. Usually, when the U.S. markets open, they start winning their battle again because they start moving between the big banks here and the big banks in Europe during that time period. You'll see, like in the U.S. morning, the say 9 to noon Eastern is where you see most of the price suppression going as they try to push down the price. So when you watch and it is still maintaining or pushing up during these hours, it tells you a lot about the structural price or value of what's going on in the metals market. Mark, they make the rules. That's why you've got to make it so in their face. They made the rules. The last time, Mark, we've seen the efforts we needed from a Congress, it was Newt Gingrich with the Contract for America. That's the last time we saw a really fired up Congress get into things that weren't the best for Congress, but they were best for the U.S. people. And then the RNC, because it was becoming too successful, threw Newt Gingrich under the bus. I mean, they threw him under the bus. Yeah, if I were Newt, there's no way in hell I would ever do a fundraiser for the RNC after what they did to him. I would tell him to bite it and eat it. Randy, you have to pay Congress or else the wealthy crooked members will starve out the non-wealthy to vote for the way they want. Ooh, Randy, that's a painful observation that is most likely 100% true. Time for happy. I heard someone say that the Dow must go below 20K for this to go. However, did it drop? Wait, however, it dropped, but it didn't drop that much and bounced right back. Let's see the shirt. Wait, this shirt. Oh, I do have a couple others that I have yet to show off that came from down under. Some pretty cool shirts from Australia. Keep meaning to show these off and have been negligent in that one. One of the viewers sharing with me, and I just think it is fantastic. Let's see here. I'm a dingo. The dingo ate the baby. Kookaburra, all kinds of cool stuff. Koalas. Wanted to share that. I keep forgetting that. Need to sing happy birthday. Let Wade and Gina go, and then I can start answering questions in chat. Goldman King, I still got that one too. Is a lawyer needed to buy my house? You'd be safer to have a lawyer to do the closing. Theoretically, a paralegal could knock it out for you because of the filings. So they wait. MW, time for happy dance. Kokomo, Jan, Presley, Sarah, Helen, Jay Hart. Who else? Camaro Commando, we need to fire 90% of this government. Yes, we do. Polly Collie, Mark, at some point in most of your podcasts, I end up spitting my Diet Coke out at one of your remarks. I'm channeling my inner Senator Kennedy because he is so stinking funny. Canyon's birthday. CXI, Dinar's out of stock. I'm hearing that so left and right. Snake squeezing on the shirt. No, it's gonna wait for me to put it on, then it's gonna squeeze. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, to whoever is celebrating. Yeah, Biz, I would be good with that one just for Senator Kennedy. I mean, that dude's got a sense of humor and a extremely sharp wit. Him as president would be worth it just just for the quotes. Can you imagine history? I mean, he's already going to be famous for his quotes. Could you imagine how he would go down in the history books for some of his sayings if he were to be president? Oh, it would be epic. Just for that alone, I'm in for 4 years. Let's see. Kim Clement stated about the Dinar in a video last night. Things will go quickly. I think we're going to start seeing things go exceptionally quickly. All right, let's get over here to Wade and Gina before I'm talking too much. Wade, it's only a Wade.
Oh, she's buzzing around. She's coming in for a landing now.
I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
You know, as you're listening, you're talking about Kennedy. I love him so much. I'll tell you. So if they just term out in Louisiana, then we could bring him to Colorado. He could be a senator here. Then he could go to, Carolina. So we just utilize him throughout the whole United States and just have him as a senator in each and every state.
Right.
I mean, that would be just as good for me. Because I just don't think, man, there's anybody too much better than
No, I agree with you.
His quotes are so awesome. He is so funny. He is probably one of the funniest. But who said they were spitting out Diet Coke? Come on now. We're here talking about water. We want to get away from that Diet Coke.
You need to get healthier.
We caught him. We busted him. That's right. So anyways, good morning, Mark. Good morning, crew. Man, we're so excited to be here with you guys today. We're so thankful. And we just want to say how much we appreciate each and every one of you. We have over 100 families that we've been helping in just the Z organization, and just the MarkZ organization. And last time I was here, I said last month, I said I was here. We were here 2 years. We've been here 3 years. And so, partnered with our friend Gerald and you guys. And so we just are so thankful. And so just a little bit, some of you guys may not know us, just real quick. My name is Wade Holder. This is my wife, Gina. We own My Free Water Store in Woodland Park, Colorado. And a number of years ago, they tried to, put cancer and stuff on me. So it started me on a research program. And so today we're going to talk about some of the things that I've learned over those years. We're just going to kind of do an overall. But before that,
He's got notes, guys.
Good morning.
He's going to tell you lots of stuff today.
Yeah, I wrote way too many notes today to get us started. But we just truly want to just first off just thank you guys for allowing us into your homes each and every day, and I hear that from many of our people who said, hey man, wait, I listen to you here and I listen to you there, and you and Gina, we're so thankful for us. So we just are thankful for you guys. But let's get into it a little bit today. So we're gonna be talking about water, and of course that's what we do, right? My Free Water Store. We talk about ionized, alkalized water, and it made such a difference in our lives and our children's lives and our moms. Like mom, we talk about mom once in a while, but mom's 85 years old, golfing 3 days a week, won't golf with anybody less than or older than 65 because they're too slow.
They're too slow for her. Yeah,
she's awesome.
But
I tell you, she gets out there and lets them all know that the water absolutely has changed your life. And so, guys, by the way, if those of you that are out there, if you've had some great things about water, let everybody know, because it's made huge differences for us. We do have anyways, I'm going to go over a few things today. I want to talk about 5 basic traits of what ERW water does. And so let me just give you a recap. First, we're going to talk about the alkalinity and actually how that works on the body. We're going to talk about the microclustering, which means the way that the water is broken down so it gets into your cells. When it does get into your cells, we're going to talk about the detoxification process. Then we're going to talk about the structure, how it actually is broken down. And then we're going to talk about the antioxidant value. Now, I happen to believe that the antioxidant value is one of the most valuable parts of this. But before we get into that, anything you want to?
Nope, you're good.
She's ready rock and roll. She's like, man, he's got notes. He's been working on it.
I'm happy he's done that. Yeah.
Because usually I'm just going from the gun, honey.
He scares me when he does that because he gets off on rabbit trails.
Well, and with notes, I could get off on a rabbit trail too. There's 2 pages, and I only want to go through 1. Anyways, let's first look at the alkalinity. Listen, guys, the body has the ability to heal itself when it's in an alkaline state. Okay, period. It needs to be alkaline. It needs to be hydrated, and it needs to be cleaned out. Okay, so the body is an amazing deal, right? So each cell,
God created is pretty cool.
that's right. That's right. Each cell is designed to create RNA, DNA, do its job. But in order to do that, it has to have water. Period. Water is the elixir of all life. In fact, without water, there is no life. Life does not exist. Not even that as we know it. Period. Life doesn't exist. And so that's the reason why we're so big about water, is because the water that we drink, the fluids that we drink into our body, it actually determines our health. And so as I said, 15 years ago, a doctor was trying to diagnose me with the big C, and I'm like, oh, no, we're not doing this. And I started learning how all, and in capital A, all degenerative disease thrives in an acidic environment, and it cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. So no matter what supplements you're taking, no matter what you're doing in your life, without water, nothing happens, period. Doesn't happen. And so water is what brings nutrients into each cell, and water is what washes the waste out of the cell. And we're going to talk about that.
And brings the body into alkalinity.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you, Diet Coke does not. Our little friend, our Diet Coke drinker, said, she has water too. She has water too.
Hey, at least they spit out the Coke.
Okay. That's true. You got that. You got that. But it takes 72 hours of this water. And how many gallons for your body to process out that Diet Coke you're drinking?
3 gallons of water to neutralize one can of soda, and about 72 hours to process out of the body. So we really need to be. Anyways, yeah.
I don't want to pick on our Diet Coke drinkers.
No. Actually, we love those Diet Coke drinkers because we want to educate them about water and get them away from that stuff. Yeah. And so that's why we're here today, is just to help you to understand a little bit more about that. And by the way, whoever reaches out to us today, I have an interview I did with a nutritionalist that's absolutely amazing, and we'll send that out to whoever reaches out to us today. And we just want to let you know, it's Stu. It was that conversation I had with Stu. It's about an hour long. It's absolutely incredible, and it's going to touch a lot more on some of the points that I'm talking about today. He just reminded me of all this. So we talk about the alkalinity. So every cell has to be in alkaline state. If it's in an acidic state, then disease can thrive and grow in the body. And so that's where we start off with, is just the alkalinity. And actually, I think that's the least of what our machine does, is create a water that's an alkaline water that's available to your body. And that's done through an electrolysis process where we separate off the acidic minerals and we keep behind the alkaline minerals that God gave us. Here's what's really wonderful. Now, when you pick up a bottle of water and it says it's 8.8 or 9.5 alkalinity, I want you to look at something. First off, they start off with reverse osmosis water or distillation, meaning that they purify the water. That's what they consider it. Then they add back elements. Okay. And when I say elements, I'm saying they add back magnesium, sodium, potassium, calcium, those sort of things, but they're in an elemental state, meaning like elements in dirt. But here's the problem. They're not in a bioavailable form. So your body can't actually absorb those. Now, it will recognize them and it will store them. So when you're drinking that type of water, you can actually create a different type of problem in your body. You can create alkalosis in the body, meaning the body has now stored all these elements, but it's not utilizing them.
So let's recap. They kill the water.
Yeah.
Then they add back chemicals.
Right.
Then they give it to us, and our body doesn't know what to do with it, so it stores in our soft tissue, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, here's what's really wonderful. Okay, a plant, you throw a plant in dirt, right? Guess what? There's elements in the dirt. So the plant starts absorbing up those elements, and through photosynthesis, it breaks those elements down and makes them bioavailable. So we eat a plant, and we get bioavailable minerals, right? So here's what's really cool about what this water does. It takes those elements that are in the water, okay, and through the electrolysis process, it breaks them down. So almost like a photosynthesis in a plant, makes them bioavailable to the body. When the body gets bioavailable elements or minerals and vitamins, then it utilizes what it needs and it passes on what it doesn't. Okay. So water, well, actually, this is when a baby is first born, they are 90% water, 90%. And when a person gets into their 30s, maybe even 40s, they get down around 70%. Okay. You get a little over above the 50s, you start getting into the 60% or 50s, high 50s. When we die, guys, we're in the 40s and 50s. Why do we die? I believe it's because of dehydration. A baby is restoring and repairing. They're growing, they're doing wonderful, but they're like 90% water. So we get dehydrated. We think we're doing something good for our body. And we get dehydrated, which causes oxidation in the body, right? Allows disease to thrive in the body. And so we're not able to battle back. And so that's why I think the number one defense in the world is hydration, period. And I just happen to think that our water hydrates better. I don't just happen to think. I happen to know that our water hydrates better than any other water on earth. Period. Yeah, and that's right, on a cellular level. So we're going to talk about that. How does that happen? Well, through that electrolysis process, it breaks down the structure of the water. And some of us call it microclustered water. Some of us call it ERW. ERW means electrolyzed reduced water. Okay, that is the scientific term. So if you guys want to go look up some white papers, you can go into Google Scholar and do some research, and you're going to look up ERW, electrolyzed reduced water. And that is going to help you to find the documentation, which there's over 30,000 studies throughout the world, not in the US, okay, throughout the world, about this type of water. It's been utilized in the Japanese world. And by the way, fish tank, it depends on what the fish needs, Scott. If they need alkaline or base, so you can, a base or acidic. Otherwise, you just clean that water, basically give them filtered water. And we'll talk a little bit about filtration too. So you gotta know a little bit more about what the fish want. But I'm glad you brought up fish, because this restructuring process actually cleans out our fish bowl. Mm-hmm. It helps get into our cell and clean out that water. So
Speaking of fish, if you put a fish in RO water, reverse osmosis, it will die. Yeah, it doesn't have anything for that fish to live with.
If you don't add minerals and such to it, that water those fish will die. The plant will die. And our body dies. So anyways, back to the microclustering, right? So what it does is it breaks down the structure of this water, makes it available for each and every one of your cells. So as your body's pumping the water around through your circulatory system, and it's carrying nutrients, it's carrying vitamins, it's carrying all the things that are necessary for each and every cell to replicate properly. It is breaking down the structure of that water. So when it gets to the cell has a port on the side of it. It's called aquaporin. It's got lots of ports, but it's designed for a 6-sided molecule. Basically, it's designed for a 6-sided molecule cluster. So ionized water, alkalized water, and I say alkalized, not alkaline, alkalized water, is broken down to a 6-sided molecule. So when it gets to that cell is designed to readily accept that molecule of water. So that molecule of water brings with it nutrients, brings vitamins, brings whatever the body is needing, whatever each cell is needing. And I know it's really hard to understand that.
He's a geek. He likes that technical stuff.
That on the very, very pin tip, there are hundreds of cells, just on a very pin tip, right? But each one of those cells have a menu, and they're calling out to the body, I need this, I need that, I need this. Send a molecule out with that. And so when the molecule gets there, when it's got an electrical charge, a negative electrical charge, it carries that product with it, and it gets there and goes, hey, I'm here. And so the cell opens up, allows that molecule to carry in whatever nutritional supplement that the cell needs. And then while it's there, it says, oh, let me take your trash out for you. Right. And so it comes out of the other side of the cell, bringing the trash that your cell is creating. And every cell is creating trash because it's burning energy. Whenever it's burning energy, you have something left, like in your fireplace. You burn a nice fire to keep yourself warm, and there's ash left. Something has to carry that off. I just learned that with my grill, right? I was trying to use my Traeger grill. I'm like, why is this thing not working? And Gina's like,
we forgot to take the trash out on
When's the last time you cleaned that? I'm like, whoa. it's been a long time since I cleaned the ashes. And
Got it.
so when I dug in, I'm like, wow, it was, I'm like, okay, so it was time to get the ashes out. Well, that's what happens in our body. So because I didn't have the ashes out of that Traeger, it wouldn't even run. Well, neither will your cells. So that's just
so when you're drinking this water, here's my recap, because I'm simple, he's technical. Okay. So when you drink this water, your body dumps the trash, i.e., you're running to the restroom all the time. And that's our biggest complaint that we hear from people is, you know, oh, man, I drink this and I got to go to the restroom. Well, you got to dump the trash, right?
Yes.
So that's how you dump the trash. And guess what, guys? We only have a couple openings to dump the trash. So believe me, you want to be running to the restroom.
That's right. That's right. And yes, it is absolutely suitable for the Philippines. We have lots and lots of people in the Philippines with these devices. So that's a great question. So as we're drinking this water and it's carrying out that trash, just like Gina said, it's got to carry it out. So that's your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system actually holds 3 times, I think, is it 2 or 3 times? I'd have to look again, but it's like 3 times the amount of fluid that your circulatory system has. But there's no pump. You're the pump. And so you've got to be active. You've got to be moving to get the trash out. But water is what does it. So, you know, there's people who have lupus and other things like that clog up that lymphatic system in their body. Let me tell you, water can change that. Water can help that movement. It can help relieve the inflammation that's happening in those each of those
electrolyzed reduced water.
Yeah, electrolyzed reduced water.
Not bottled water.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Don't go grab a bottle of water that says 8.8 because it's not helping you do that.
That's right. So that's talking about the microclustering. So that means it just gets into your cells easier and better, and it hydrates you much more superior. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about detoxifying. Now, how does it work? You know, as the body is creating that waste becomes very positive in nature, meaning it's lost all of its electrons. It's now a proton base. I mean, so it's waste, and all waste does that. Okay. I mean, all waste. And so when you send something in that has an antioxidant charge, it is detoxifying, meaning it can go through the body because it has a negative electrical charge. It actually draws positive things to it. It wants to neutralize out. Do you know that our cells in our body, which are trillions and trillions, I mean, guys, like 40 to 60 trillion cells in your body, get bombarded by free radicals, meaning something that's missing an electron, around 10,000 times a day, each and every cell in your body. And then your cells get tired, right? And when they get tired, guess what? You're going to get sick. You're going to get disease. That's what happens is the cells just can't fight back. Detoxification process actually helps those cells. So you can start drawing out those toxins. You can draw out those things that are constantly bombarding them and breaking down their defense. And I know that, Stacy talks about the antioxidant values and everything else, but water is what carries that ability in. And along with this water that has that negative charge, it now brings it to the cell, and the cell is relieved when it gets there because it brings a new electrical charge. It helps batify, it helps fortify that cell so that cell can continue to battle on. And guys, I mean, I am a geek, okay? But I'm thinking about a poor cell that gets bombarded 10,000 times a day. How tired would you be if you just got beat up 10,000 times a day? Every time you turn around, somebody's trying to beat you up. Somebody's trying to steal from you, right? I mean, that's, I know it's crazy because I
told you he's the geek.
I'm
the simple one.
I'm very character driven on this
when
stuff.
You're dehydrated,
I put
you're miserable.
Yes,
when you're hydrated, you feel better. I'll simplify it for you
guys. So that detoxification, that negative charge draws out. So let me tell you, every vaccination, all of the bad stuff that happens, okay, chemotherapy, all of that, those are all very positive. You need a detoxer. You need to get in. You need to draw those toxins out, and then you need a way to flush them out of your body. And this, I happen to absolutely 100% believe this is the number one way in life, period. What were you going to say?
So many people have gone through radiation and chemo and things like that. And, and God bless you. When you get that big C diagnosis, we know it's scary. But when your body is so racked by that, you have to hydrate it to give it the fight. My poor cousin,
Yes.
they tell her now she has chemo heart. And it's because they've done chemo and radiation and all this stuff. And now her heart's affected.
Yeah.
And she walks around and she has a machine. But she travels so much for her daughter that she doesn't always have the water with her. And she's suffering those consequences. And it's heart-wrenching. So I just know that I see the difference.
Yeah.
I see the difference.
And we've gone with her a couple of times when she went down to do a round, and man, I get really ticked off. Gina usually doesn't let me go in the building because when I go in there and they're giving them soda, right? They're giving them cookies. They're doing things to ease their
emotional state, I guess.
Well, but they're digestive. That makes them. What do you call it when you get nausea? Nausea.
Yeah.
And they give them sugar-related drinks and stuff. I'm appalled, to be honest. I'm not only in shock, I'm appalled. It's like that feeds cancer. We know that. We know it absolutely.
Guys, you get a C diagnosis, and trust me, the first thing you want to do is stay away from sugar.
Yes, absolutely.
The first thing you want to do is stay away from sugar
right.
at any cause. And orange juice and all of them, they're all sugar.
Yep.
They're all sugar.
Yep, that's right.
So
that's right.
Anyway, sorry. I went down the rabbit trail that time. Oops. Sorry, guys.
We're big proponents of juice, guys. Absolutely. I think people should be, that are battling, you should be doing some juicing, getting those antioxidants from those fruits and vegetables that you're using. Very few fruits, more vegetables, right? And I'm not a big vegetable guy. I know that I will eat green beans and Mark won't, but so back to the structure. So now we're back. Okay. So that detoxification process, no matter what's been going on in your body, guys, you can clean your body up. You can clean it up. You have a chance. You have a fighting chance. Okay. And so utilize this water to draw those toxins out and get your body hydrated. If you can get your body hydrated, your body can start fighting back. Okay. I think it's the number one thing you can do, the number one thing you have to do for your body. Okay. Number 4, let's talk about the structure. I kind of already talked about that. But the structure of the water, that microclustering actually changes the molecule cluster to a 6-sided molecule that freely flows in and out of the cell. If you've ever seen a snowflake, guys, in a microscope, right, you'll see that it's a 5 or 6-sided molecule cluster. That's beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're wonderful under a microscope. And that's what your body wants. And that's what your body desires. And that's what your body needs. If you've ever seen tap water, bottled water, those sort of waters under a microscope, guys, it's very jagged. It's like, it's very jagged. It's ugly, to be honest. It doesn't have that beauty. Everything is really jagged. It's really mean. It's like a goat head. It's like a sticker. It's like, so guys, that's that change. You really need that snowflake type of thing. Then we're going to talk about the antioxidants. Now, I already talked a little bit about this, but free radicals are the number one devastation to your body. Free radical is the oxidation of your body. It is the
I wish we had a chart of free
process.
radicals.
Oh yeah,
the Gatorades and the sodas and the all this stuff that we think we're drinking Gatorade because it's going to give us
electrolytes and all this stuff.
And
we do that in our full demonstrations. You guys are welcome to join our full demonstrations because they're absolutely incredible. So free radicals are what's tearing down our cell. That's what causes aging process. Listen, guys, I'm 65. Well, I'm not 65. I'm 64 and like 10 months.
He's really close to 65.
I'm getting close, but I smoked for many, many years. Okay. And I drank for many, many years. I still will have a drink now and then. I need to do a little whiskey and wisdom. But I will use Kangen water, for my eyes. So
you don't drink
because
whiskey.
it makes the not me anymore, not anymore, but I would with the boys there, but guys, even that, I mean, I get told all the time how really good my skin looks as a man who smoked for years and years and years, 2 packs a day from third grade was when I started smoking, and guys, that's the way it was back in the 60s. Okay. It just really was that way. All the way until I was over 40 years old. Right. So now I've quit smoking nearly 25 years. So now
it's been 26 years for me and 25 for him.
Yeah. So I wouldn't quit till she quit for a year.
Yeah.
Because I was
And
going
I
back
did.
and forth. Anyway, so that free radical damage is what causes us to age and break down and all that. My body, guys, is absolutely amazing. My doctor tells me all the time I'm the healthiest fat guy she has, right? So I weigh 240, so I'm a big guy. I'm not, there's no slouch here. But I will tell you, my blood work is absolutely incredible. We have so many testimonies. I mean, we just
had a great one the other day that she had a phenomenal. She got her blood work graded.
Yes,
and it was A+, and she was so excited about it. It was so much fun. I would love to have her on here sometime.
We'll
have
to have her on here. Many of you know her, Pamela. She's one of she's an avid MarkZ fan and plus and a friend of their family. So I mean, she's close to those guys, and so
we just love her. She's awesome.
She has so many testimonies. Her husband and her and all that. But so, anyways, antioxidants, guys, are the number one thing for your body. They neutralize the breakdown that's going on in your body. So that's just kind of a cap of what this water does. I mean, that was a real quick cap, right? I want you guys to make sure you join us. We do demonstrations 3 times a month, and we do them on Zoom. They're 2 hours plus long. I'm long-winded.
He's getting better.
My wife
holding
says
it to a couple hours these days.
I work hard, working hard at it, but I don't know what to cut out. I don't know what to not tell you about what's going on. But those are as I said today, those that reach out, we will make sure I give you the interview that I did with Stu Sweeney out of Palm Desert, California, who's incredible. Has been in the nutritional business for over 35 years. And because of what this water did for him, he's now been with us for 14 years. 15,
and it's natural nutrition, natural
That's
health and healing, not prescription drugs.
That's right. This water was recognized by the Japanese Ministry of Health in 1965. My buddy Stu, when they went to try to do some research on this water, because he was one of the meetings and he was listening to some Japanese doctors and such, and they went to do research. They couldn't find anything in the U.S., so they had to go out of the country, and that was where they found over 30,000 studies utilized throughout the world.
So how will you contact us?
Yes,
is myfreewater.com.
MarkZwater.com.
You can sign up on our website right there. There's 4 blanks. Fill your first, last, your phone number, and your email out. I will not sell your information anywhere, but you will get a schedule of classes and what we
get
do.
An ebook,
and you'll get an ebook. We'll give you some information. So myfreewater.com. And if you guys are phone people like I am, 719-687-8732.
Yes.
719-687-8732.
Now, listen,
there it is.
Thank you,
There's
Kukla.
my Kukla. Thank you, girl.
We love you so much. Guys, now listen, we are not in our office. After the show, we won't be in there for another hour and a half. Okay, I'll be there probably by 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. But our office doesn't open till noon. Okay, but I'll be there checking the phones when I get there. So please, if you don't get us, leave a message. And we will get back to you. I promise you. But where we live 30 minutes away from our store. We live out, Mark was just talking about cows. I love that. So we just butchered Gus.
We get our cows coming next week. I think is when it is.
I didn't buy one.
We don't need a cow this year. We're going to do a pig this time.
Because they were so expensive. I couldn't believe it. The calf was going to cost me nearly $2,500 this year. So I got with my son. And Mark, I'm so glad you said that. So I got with my son. We're getting some heifers this year, and we're going to start our own breeding program. So we're going to start breeding our own because we usually buy a steer at this time of year, and then we raise it. And then next year, this time we will butcher it. We just butchered Gus, and so right now I've got 3 freezers full. So I'm like, okay, we're going to pass this year, but we're getting pigs. And we also have chickens. Listen, there was a couple of people that were on in the call talking about their cows. They had dairy cows and beef cows. Enagic now raises Wagyu beef in California, and they get 30 gallons of this water every day. and it is some of the most. I haven't had it yet, but I've got lots of friends who've had it so far, and because I raise my own cows,
ours are hard.
It's hard
to
for me
beat.
to go buy.
They're really hard to
for me to go buy beef, but those dairy cows that you have, you can increase milk production 18 to 25% by utilizing this type of water for their supplement. I mean, for their water intake. Now think about that.
Guess what? It works that way with women too.
Milk, yeah, that's right. Milk production are all of our daughters. Well, all of our grandbabies are congonites. We call them congonites because of the water that they drink. It makes them little congonites. But I will tell you, it is incredible what it does for the body, especially during pregnancy. Well, especially all the time. There's no special time. It's all the time.
We got on a rabbit trail. Keep going.
That's right. Well, we're pretty much there. I mean, okay. I know I flipped the page and you're like, what, a whole nother
I know, page of notes. Trust me, guys, he could go on for days. He's a geek. He studies this stuff all the time.
But it's because it changed us.
Yeah. It made a difference in our lives.
Mom, all my daughters,
and I don't have to study it because I have him.
All my daughters. It's changed our whole life, guys. But here's the thing: if you don't drink it, doesn't matter, right? So it doesn't pay to have a machine on your counter if you're not drinking it.
That's right.
How much water should you drink each day? Here we go, explosion. Everybody's mind's getting ready to explode, right? I drink an ounce for every pound that I weigh. So what does that mean? I drink 240 ounces a day. Period. Okay. My wife drinks her ounce per water. Never say wait to a woman. I never.
But I do. I'm very good. I am on a bad day.
Very good. Yeah.
I drink. A very bad day is at least a gallon of water, if not.
So you want to make some changes to your physical health. Get hydrated. Get hydrated with the best. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about real quick, because we're running out of time, and I promise Mark I try to keep it down because is pre-filtration. Now we utilize pre-filtration. We take water and get it down to a level that we want to drink it at, and then we ionize it. Okay. So we have filtration processes that we carry. We have whole house and we have point of use. Point of use means just underneath your sink. So we utilize that right before the device. Okay, so that we give it the purest water we possibly can. So with that, we'll pull out conspiracy, guys. So I'm pulling out venom, snake venom. I'm pulling
all of it,
anthrax, all of that. We pull it all and leave whole minerals behind, so that the body can be supplied with what it needs.
So all of you on city systems,
yes,
no chlorine, no soda ash,
no bodies melted into the water.
I knew you were going to go there. So I'm going to tell you guys something. No, I'm going to tell on myself a little bit real quick.
Uh-oh.
I was giving you a hard time, my little Coke drinker there, my Diet Coke drinker, but I was a Pepsi drinker.
Oh, yes.
When he came home with this machine, I was not even kind about it. I know that's hard to believe, but I was mean, and I was not even going to consider giving up Pepsi. That was just not a thing. Well, I can tell you today, it's been over 10 years since a Pepsi has crossed my lips, and I do not miss it. As a matter of fact, I can't even stand the smell of it. It's really amazing how when you get your body healthier. So those of you who think you can't give up soda, believe me, I did not think I could give up soda, and you can. You can. You can.
That's right. So with that, I hope we brought you some good, vital information, guys. I'm telling you, life is worth living, especially when you're healthy. And we are absolutely living proof of that. So we thank you for being here today. Hope I'm not hearing you, Mark. Your mic might be off.
Thank you, guys. For the rest of you, I'll see you this evening with Dr. Scott at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Wade. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, guys. Everybody have a great day.